Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Should we
Start your video
Should we pull
now. Hi there, young Jedi. I am Ken Rich and you are not. Okay, Stephen has requested that I teach you how to utilize modulation on a Mini, which is nothing like modulation on a Voyager. For those history lesson buffs, the Mini was actually the first real-time synthesizer used in stage performances. Quite yummy, quite delicious. Now if you go down here to the control panel, these is your oscillator mixer zone. And basically, oscillator 1, oscillator 2, and oscillator 3, oscillator control 3 up with oscillator modulation off. It's basically a straight up Moog. Let me just tune this thing. See how quickly that went into tune, by the way. Now, please note here, these are waveform switches. And these waveform switches can do a whole bunch of interesting stuff for you, but Steve wants me to show you how to implement modulation in real time. Oscillator 3 becomes your modulation oscillator. Oscillator 2 you can mix in. Now, when you want to make oscillator 3 modulate, you want to make the waveform more of a sine wave, and the closest thing to a sine wave happens to be this triangular waveform right there. So basically, what you want to do is you want to implement low modulator oscillation on, control oscillator switch on, upwards it's off, down it's on, mod wheel. Now do you hear the weird glitching in the background? And this is where Steve made his problem before. He implemented noise on the modulation mix instead of pure oscillator. So pure oscillator gives you this. And if you want to speed it up, you can do it one of two ways. You can go to a 32 foot and drop the speed down. So I'll repeat that again. 32 feet at the slowest point of the spectrum is that. If you want to go slower, you'd go mid detent. Now, you can also add filter modulation, but that'll be another story for another day. This is what I'm presuming that you want to accomplish. So once again, modulator controls, modulator modulation on from oscillator. Control oscillator, oscillator 3 on. Don't put noise in there because then what it's going to do, it's going to start grabbing white or pink noise from over here, and this is what you end up with. You hear the junk in the background?
Give him a little filter modulation.
Modulation filter is simple. You have 3 different types of keyboard controls, actually 2, and it's on filter. You hear the modulation in the filter? Different level of filter, brighter filter. And spaceship noises. A lot of fun, eh?
Thanks.